There's a moment that I think a lot of you have had it where you look at your Adobe subscription renewal email and you think, why I'm still paying for this? For me, that moment came and went a few times. And I always talk myself back into it. The tools are good, everyone uses it, it's the industry standard, you need it, but this time was different, because this time I actually had a real alternative. Two of them actually, so I cancelled a suite, and today I'm going to walk you through exactly how I did it, what my setup looks like now, how it's actually working, and yes, before anything else, the trick to cancelling Adobe without paying them a stupid amount of money to leave. Let's get into it. Okay, before anything else, I want to save you money, because this is exactly what I did and it saved me over 100 euros. Here's the situation I was in. I was on an annual Adobe plan, and when I went to cancel it, they told me the cancellation fee would be about 116 euros, 116 euros, just to leave. That's how they keep you, they make it more painful to go than to stay. So here's what I did instead. I didn't cancel, I switched plans. I downgraded to cheapest plan Adobe offers. The moment I did that, two things happened. First, Adobe graded me the remaining value of my old plan for that current month, so I didn't lose that money. Second, and this is the key part, the new cheaper plan starts fresh. It hasn't locked into an annual commitment yet. It's still in that window before it becomes annual, so I cancelled it immediately, right then, before it became annual. No cancellation fee, nothing. I walked away paying zero extra, and I even got back the remaining value of my old plan as credit. Instead of 160 euros to leave, nothing. That's the move. I want to be clear, Adobe can change the terms at any time, so check your specific plan before you do this. But this is exactly what worked for me. Cancel immediately after switching, don't wait. Now let's talk about what I switched to. Affinity used to be three separate paid apps, Photo, Designer and Publisher. Under Canva they launched it in late 2025 as a one single unified app. Everything in one place, completely free. And when I say everything, I mean it. The app is divided into studios. The three main ones are Pixel, Vector and Layout. Pixel is your photo editing space, Photoshop territory. Vector is illustration and design, Illustrator's job. Layout is desktop publishing, that's InDesign. But it doesn't stop there. There's also a dedicated developed studio specifically for raw image processing, a composing studio for layered visual work, a color grading studio, a slide studio for exporting assets, and on top of all of that, you can build your own completely custom studios by mixing and matching tools from any of the others. You want a workspace that's half pixel, half vector? You can make that. You can even share custom studios with other people. So it's not three toolsets, it's a full creative environment. And what's inside those toolsets is serious, non-destructive raw processing, 16-bit and 32-bit HDR editing, frequency separation, liquify, HDR merge, panorama stitching, focus stacking, advanced masking, live filter layers, batch processing with macro automation, lens correction profiles, long-form document support, typographic precision, CMYK ready print output, data merge, all of it free. The only things behind the paid Canva Pro subscription are the AI features, generative fill, AI background removal, depth map, super resolution. If you need those, you'd pay for Canva Pro. For everything else, nothing. And one more thing that connects directly to my full setup, Affinity 3.2, now integrates directly with DaVinci Resolve. You can import Affinity files into DaVinci as title cards or overlays and they update it in real time whenever you change something in Affinity. That bridge between the two tools is something I'm already using. Now the honest part, I'm still learning it. Years of Photoshop muscle memory don't disappear overnight, and Affinity does things differently enough that there's a real adjustment period. I'm not going to pretend otherwise, but the depth is there. The performance is noticeably faster and it costs nothing. Still learning it, not going back. Now for the second half, and this one I can speak about with a lot more confidence because I've been using DaVinci Resolve for video editing for years. If you are not familiar, DaVinci Resolve is a professional video editing and color grading application made by Blackmagic Design. It has always been genuinely excellent, to the point where it's used on Hollywood feature films and major TV productions. That's not marketing, it's just true. For video editing, it replaced Premiere Pro for me completely a while ago. The color tools alone are on another level. The edit workflow, once you learn it, is fast. And you are not paying monthly for it, but here's what just changed everything for me. DaVinci Resolve 2021 announced literally just a couple of weeks ago at NAB 2026 introduced a brand new photo page, still photography editing, inside DaVinci Resolve. This means I can now use the same node-based color grading tools I use on my videos, on my photos. The same curves, the same qualifiers, the same power windows for local adjustments on still images. It supports native RAW files from Canon, Fujifilm, Nikon, Sony. You can tell the camera directly. You can import your Lightroom catalog. There is a lightbox view for browsing albums with grades applied. This is what finally let me drop Lightroom. I've been holding on to it because I didn't have a proper raw photo workflow outside of Adobe. Now I do. Is it perfect? No. It's still a beta. The learning curve for someone coming purely from Lightroom is real because the node-based workflow is generally different. But for someone like me who already knows the DaVinci color page, it clicked almost immediately. Okay, I have to address this because it's a thing most people are going to bring up in the comments. Adobe has AI, really good AI, generated fill in Photoshop, AI masking, Firefly, all of it, and Affinity doesn't have that. DaVinci has some AI tools in version 21, but nothing like Adobe's ecosystem. Am I worried about that? Genuinely, a little. There are use cases where Adobe's AI will have saved me real time, but here's my honest perspective on it. And I know not everyone will agree. When you don't have AI tools to correct things after the fact, you get better before the fact. You think harder about your exposure when you are shooting because you can't fix a blown sky with a click. You think harder about your composition because you can remove an element in 2 seconds. You spend more time in the actual creative process instead of in the correction process. That's not me being anti-technology. I use AI tools where they make sense. But I've noticed that since switching, I've become more intentional, and that feels worth something. Whether that trade-off works for you depends on what you do. If you are in a fast-paced commercial environment where turnaround is everything, maybe Adobe's AI is worth the subscription. For what I'm doing, I can work without it. So here's where I land. My setup right now: Affinity for design and photo editing, DaVinci Resolve for video, and now for photo color work. One free, one paid ones. Both running well, one of them I'm still learning. None of them is asking me for money every month. Is it a perfect Adobe replacement for everyone? No. If you are deep in Adobe's ecosystem, if clients send you PSD files, if your studio is built on Creative Cloud collaboration tools, if Firefly AI is scored to your turnaround, then the suite has real costs, and you should weigh them honestly. But if you are someone who's been on the fence, who's been paying Adobe out of habit and inertia more than genuine need, then I want you to know the alternative is real. It's half free, and DaVinci Resolve 21 just closed the last gap that was keeping me on Adobe's side. The timing right now is genuinely perfect. Affinity is free, DaVinci Resolve 21 just dropped. There has never been a better moment to try this. I'm not telling you to cancel Adobe today. I'm telling you to look at what you actually use it for and then decide if that's worth what they are charging. For me, it wasn't. And I haven't looked back. If this was useful, subscribe. I'll keep doing honest videos like this, and drop a comment. Are you still on Adobe or have you already made the switch? See you in the next one.